So, greetings, folks. Welcome back to my journal world. This is episode 280. It's been over 2 months since I've released an episode in this world, for a very good reason. The last episode was released, I think, about 4 or 5 days before lockdown was enforced, and now the next one is coming at a time when it's trying to be eased. You know, all the governments are trying to ease the lockdown. It'll be interesting to see where that goes, but point is, it's been 2 months. This series has always been inconsistent. You know, that's nothing new, but there's a very good reason as to why it's been 2 months since I last recorded, and this is that reason. You may or may not remember, in fact, you probably don't remember. I will not expect anyone to remember that I was planning on building a wither farm, an automatic AFK wither farm. So it's going to go here, but in order to increase rates, you basically had to get rid of all the spawning space surrounding the AFK point, and also you have to get rid of pretty much every block above the farm, which is what I did here. Well, not quite. Obviously there's still netherrack up there in the ceiling because I was too lazy to get rid of it, and there's also bedrock, but bedrock doesn't spawn mobs. I'm not sure if it is even checked by the mob spawning kind of thing, but the point is we got rid of as many blocks as was possible, and it took ages, which you may think is a wee bit surprising because there was a lot of free space in this area in the first place. That's why I decided to build it here and not at, say, a nether fortress that is buried in the ground. But it still took a hang of a long time. For the first month and a half, I worked on it in very short bursts, if you like. The top couple levels, that took forever, and ever since, well, this is Tuesday the 26th of May, I think, I've been working on the rest of it for 5 days straight. I was just like, right, this is taking forever, I'm just going to, finish it. I didn't expect it to take 5 days. I thought it would take like 2 at the most, but it took 5. And as you can see, we've got a lot of free space up here, which it's fantastic, but it's a real shame it took that long. But anyway, that is that, and at some point in future I will get round to working on the farm. Not this episode though. I'm done with this project for now. It has been given a boost though by the 1.16 snapshots, although obviously things can change in snapshots. As of one of the snapshots, other mobs won't spawn on wither roses. That's what I'm trying to say. So blaze, magma cubes, zombie pigmen, whatever the new mobs are called, I have no idea what their names are, but they won't spawn on blocks with a wither rose, but wither skeletons will, which means this farm will be wither skeleton exclusive. Now obviously that's subject to change, but if things stay the way they are, this might work very, very well. This is a data pack which puts a sphere around the AFK point of a player. My AFK point is here. This is directly above the wither farm, and this basically highlights all the areas of netherrack we had to get rid of. I think I explained that last time. I'm going to get rid of it now that I'm finished. But I just thought I would let you see it and explain a wee bit about it. I'm not sure, but I think it adds another perk to the game, the data pack. Whenever my diamond pickaxes went down to like 30 durability, it would send me a warning and then make the breaking sound so that you never actually, you didn't break your pickaxes. So I think that's something that's added, because I don't believe that's a vanilla thing, because I was doing some work on Flatlands. I didn't get the same message whenever my pick was below 30 durability, so I think that's a data pack thing. So if that's the case, it's a very, very useful data pack to have, especially if you don't want to be obviously breaking your good diamond pickaxes. I mean, not that, I'm late game, obviously, they're not that difficult to get. Speaking of which, I made a few big mistakes, one of which, well, you'll notice I've got all my shulker boxes here. The one that I'm missing is the dark blue one that usually went up here. Basically, it got nuked by a ghast and I lost it. I dug it up, it became an item, and then the ghast shot it and it went on fire. The reason I didn't pick it up immediately was because my inventory was full and there was loads and loads of items about, so every time I emptied my inventory, some other item went into my inventory, not the shulker box. So yeah, that's kind of why. And so I lost a bunch of tools. That being said, I did manage to save one item from it because... Actually, well, it's kind of hard to explain. Basically, I saved one item from it, and it was probably the item that I most wanted to save. This is let's turn that down. Yeah, it was probably the item I really, really want. If you'd offered me the chance to save any item from the shulker box before it got destroyed, this would be the one that I chose. So the item I saved was this one, the original best possible bow in my... Is that all though? I feel like it's missing an enchant. So basically, you can't put Mending and Infinity on a bow, but I had a couple bows in this shulker box that had both Mending and Infinity, and this was one of them, although it isn't the original best possible bow in Minecraft, if you know what I mean. I had a bow. This one didn't have punch 2, so when I saved it I had to add punch 2. But yeah, I'm glad I saved it. This is probably going to go in the museum, given the fact Infinity and Mending on the same bow isn't possible anymore. I'm pretty sure I probably still have bows from back in the day from fishing that have Mending and Infinity. This... Okay, I was going to say this might have been from before Mending even, but there was one Mending bow there. Maybe there are some Mending Infinity bows that I still have in my fishing storage. So here we are, back to the end. This isn't a massive thing to show off, but it's just something I thought I would showcase, just because it's a necessary feature of my world. Basically, my Ender Pearl storage in the overworld is it's full. Basically, it's full up. It won't take any more. So what I've kind of done is actually, you know what? I need to add a ladder at the bottom. Yeah. So what I've kind of done here is I've added a way to get rid of Ender Pearls, excess Ender Pearls, which, to be fair, doesn't really solve the problem of having no storage space for them in the overworld. It prevents many from building up on the area here. You know, too many. So basically, I've added a water stream here. There wasn't one here originally, so all the Ender Pearls would end up here, or here, or somewhere like that. Now what they do is they flow down here. They end up landing on these 2 hoppers there, and as you can hear, they end up in a dispenser and get chucked in lava, and I just picked one up. I mean, I guess I could help myself to some of these because I don't have any in my inventory at the moment. And obviously some Ender Pearls will make it through the system, but this is kind of like a... I don't know, just something a bit different. Just something to kind of help out. Let's do that. And I saved the oak side there. And that'll hopefully mean I can still... Yeah, I can still get out of here. It makes it easier for me to get out. So yeah, that's something I added. I tried to use a minecart hopper because they fill up quicker, but it wasn't working. I might try it. Well, I could try it now because I've added the ladder, but I'll do that another day. Anyway, that's just something I added to lessen the number of Ender Pearls in the system. Let's just real quick go over and check out the entry point for the Ender Pearls in the overworld, which is obviously my spawn point. Yeah, look at this. So it's completely full up. Might as well store the rest of them in these ones. The reason I've got a 4x4 of hoppers here, I don't remember when I put this in, but the reason I got a 4x4 of hoppers is I didn't know exactly what block the Ender Pearls would land in. I didn't know if they'd like fly away or whatever. I wanted to be able to give the Ender Pearls every opportunity to enter the system, but now, as you can see, with the amount of items that were lying there, the system is completely backed up. So I need to do a bit of moving of Ender Pearls or something, or just create a system where they don't go into the system until I want them to. So what I did really doesn't help. It solves another problem, I guess. The problem of too many items in the end, which shouldn't really cause any issues because you don't really lag in the end all that much. Anyway, we do have sort of a project for today. I mean, the episode's probably already like 10 minutes old, so I mean, we've kind of got a project for the next wee while. As you can see here in the Nether Hub, we've got a way to get onto the bedrock ceiling, and we're going to attempt to build a gold farm. Now, first things first, I'm going to go over here. We're going to build the donut style of gold farm that, well, Zedger built it on the Flatlands SMP, and I think Ethos built it. I'm sure plenty of people have built it. I think it's termed like the poor man's gold farm because it doesn't rely on eggs of turtles. Yeah, you need turtle eggs for most gold farms these days, but if you don't have eggs, like I do, or like I don't, then you've got to make the donut style farm. And the reason I was inspired to make it wasn't just because I'd use Zengers on flatlands, but also because in digging out that massive kind of perimeter for the Wither AFK farm, that gave me a better understanding of zombie pigman AI. We're over here by the old gold farm, which incidentally I saw an episode recently from Etho in which he kind of altered this to be an iron farm and a gold farm. I'm probably not going to do that, A, because I'm too lazy, and B, because I'm too lazy. Just B, I think there's better alternatives for my world anyway. Who knows, we might come back and do something like that here, but not right now, 100%. What I've done is I've half slabbed the entire spawning pad, just to make sure, well, obviously nothing spawns and affects our other farm, which should be far enough away, but this is more just a fail-safe, if you like. And incidentally, this is my largest supply of gold still, I think. Well, there's magma cream. Yeah, there we go. Loads of gold. Loads and loads of gold. Loads of gas tiers. Wow. Yeah, I lost quite a few fortune picks when I lost my shulker box. So, but thankfully I've got loads in reserve. But yeah, this is my main reserve of gold, if you didn't know. But this farm broke in 1.10 or 1.11, and this elevator no longer works, which is why I took the ladder. Wee bit disappointing. But anyway, let's, I guess, ender pearl. Actually, we can just fly up. I've got my elytra. I never really use elytra just because, like, I'm not a fan of it. I'm not a fan of the wings opening and closing the whole time. I guess I'm more of a classic player in that way, although it's more just stupidity, isn't it? Anyway, here we are. This is the start of it. I don't know the best way to build it. I got advice from Zenger in that he suggested to use magma... What are these called? Magma blocks? I think... Yeah, they're magma blocks, right? Yeah, Jigs, you'd think I was a noob. Anyway, which I sort of am. But Zenger gave me advice in using these. Like, he told me I should use these because... Zombie Pigmen in the 1.16 update will spawn, but the piglins won't. Although I think Zombie Pigmen... Do they get a new name? They get a new skin, but I don't think... Do they get a new name? I don't remember, honestly. Anyway, the point is we're using these magma blocks, and the problem, though, is the design that Zenger used, which I believe is a common design. Certainly the tutorial I saw used the same design. Oh, no. Oh, no, that's... Okay. Phew. Yeah, the design Zenger used requires entity crabbing. You throw a bunch of minecarts into the area where the zombie pigmen run to, and oh dear, don't fly the ladder. In fact, you know what? I've got my elytra, so we can just like fly away. Yeah, so it requires entity crabbing, which I turned off when it first came out in the game. So entity crabbing was added. I turned it off, which I think is justifiable. But at this stage, it's got to the point where I'm building a farm that requires it. However, I'm not going to turn it back on. Okay, I've made that decision. I thought about it, and I was like, "Yep, I'm going to stick with it off," because I feel like if I turn it back on again, that's a wee bit cheap. I made the decision back in the day when it was added to turn it off. I should just leave it off at this point. I think. People would say that's cheating, fair enough, but I think it definitely is a bit sketchy if I just start turning it on and off whenever I want. So, yeah, we're just going to leave it off, and I'm going to try and figure out an alternative way to kill the zombie pigmen for XP and stuff. Shouldn't be too difficult, but that's the challenge we got with this farm. Anyway, all that to say, we need magma blocks, and that's what I'm going to be collecting. Oh, yeah, also, we need a super smelter, because I kept bringing netherrack here to smelt, and this was good back in the day. Not anymore. Not anymore when I come with, like, I don't know how many shulker boxes of netherrack I brought. I chucked it into the system, and I literally waited a day IRL for it all to smelt. I kid you not, it is that dumb. I don't have a super smelter. As I said, should probably make one, especially to avoid waiting a whole 24 hours for netherrack to smelt into nether bricks that I probably never use. So yeah, that is that. We got a lot of quartz as well from digging out the perimeter. So that's going to kill two birds with one stone. It means I won't have to go searching for quartz anytime soon. Right, so after that long introduction, we're going to get onto the main feature of this episode, which will be searching for magma blocks. That is what we will be doing. And we're going to be doing it here. We're at the... These are the portals that go to the biome bundle kind of terrain. And if you go down here... Did I do something down... I don't think I built down here. The reason I've got stairs is just so I can get down to the nether floor a lot easier. But we're going to be searching for magma blocks. Is this a magma block region? Because, I mean, my world is old enough that there's plenty of chunks that don't have magma blocks in them. Maybe this is a... Oh, wait, actually, no, there's a region over here that's... Yeah, look over here, right. Phew. Oh, yeah, look at this. This is bad. So, as the nether... I'm sure I've noticed this before, but has the nether changed in terms of the level that lava spawns at? Because that would suggest it has. Interesting stuff. Anyway. Yeah, so basically I'm just going to be collecting a bunch of magma block. Nothing interesting, but the reason I'm doing this is because A, I need it for the gold farm, and B, it gives me a chance to talk, because there's a few things I want to talk about. I guess a wee bit of an update in terms of myself. Nothing's changed, really. I'm just talking about a few things that I have been doing or not been doing in terms of YouTube and whatnot. Well, what have I been doing? Not too much in terms of YouTube and gaming. Like, I've been playing a lot of RRs. That's, yeah, fair enough. A lot of RRs have been doing seasons during lockdown when people are doing nothing, or people aren't doing the same amount of stuff as they would be doing during non-lockdown periods. So that's kind of fair. Apart from that, not much else. I've been playing Mount and Blade Bannerlord, or Mount and Blade 2 Bannerlord, which has been... It's been fun. I haven't got into it as much as I would have wanted, because I had a lot of lag issues. And then instantly, as soon as I upgrade my RAM, it works, which I was a wee bit salty about, but whatever. That's the thing, though. The RAM upgrade doesn't actually... seem like it makes a difference. Basically, I was running with 8 gigs and I upgraded to 16, and the only thing that it changed was Bannerlord worked, and that was it. Like, I think, you know, RAM's supposed to... is random access memory. Basically, it's, you know, it's to do with programs, the running of programs, the running of multiple programs, opening programs, that sort of thing. That's my understanding of it. I haven't really noticed, you know... I've not noticed anything different, put it that way, other than Bannerlord running. And I've heard there's a lot of talk now that 8 gigs is too little, but it's one of these ones that if it'd been any... Like, it was cheap. The upgrade was cheap, which is why I did it. And because it was kind of necessary for Bannerlord. But if it'd been any more expensive, I would have been a wee bit salty in that... You know, I you know, paying for something that didn't make much of a difference. I don't know a huge amount about this stuff, but I mean, it's whatever. I've done it. It's, put it this way, it's not harmed anything. It's not, you know, it's not made things worse, which is the, you know, the main thing. So it's done, and you know, at least it's only been positive. So I don't know why I'm complaining. I'm just saying it's not. You know, people are like, oh, 16 gig. You know, you shouldn't be using 8 gigs anymore. 16 is way better, in my opinion. From my experience so far, it seems to be a bit overhyped. But hey, that's just me. So that was one thing I did. Another thing I should probably mention is, in terms of Minecraft, playing Minecraft, I have, other than you, see, I haven't played an awful lot. I played a map with Alan recently. Apart from that, not a huge amount. And the reason I'm bringing this up is obviously because Flatlands SMP is going on, and I've not posted any videos from that, or I posted one, I think. And I'm also in the Cake Core SMP Season 3, and I haven't posted any episodes of that. I'm going to just leave this, because it's obviously a glitch. Yeah, I think it's just a glitch. It's still pretty cool. Anyway, yeah, I haven't posted anything from Flatlands SMP, so I guess to explain, to give reasons for that, you could say it's laziness, but at the same time, I've been playing Minecraft now for like 9 years, and I've been in a lot of SMPs, I've started a lot of worlds. The point I'm trying to get at is my motivation to start afresh in an SMP is very, 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 very low. especially when I've got a single player world that's as late game as it gets. The sense that, well, take for example the shulker box mishap that I spoke about earlier. I lost a shulker box full of tools, spare armour, that sort of thing. That stuff's going to take literally minutes to, well, maybe not minutes, but you know what I mean. I'm not going to have to grind to get that stuff back. It's going to take very little time to get back due to the amount of diamonds I've got, mending books, other protection books, efficiency books, that sort of thing. That's the sort of late game stage I'm at. And my point is, when I've got all this stuff already, it's easier for me to motivate myself to play in this world than it is to start afresh on an SMP. Now that being said, okay, it doesn't take too long to get super stacked on SMPs these days, because A, you can get help from other people, B, you've got things like villager trading to help you out, you've got all sorts of stuff. Mending books, I guess, can be a big help. The point is, it's not as difficult to get to late game stage these days as it was when, well, certainly when I was playing first in this world, but certainly back when I started playing Minecraft. I guess the point is, my motivation for getting started again really isn't there. Which, I guess, is just natural. It's not my motivation to play this game is gone completely, it's just my motivation to get started on an SMP is not there. So that's the reason there hasn't been videos or, I guess, much action from me on those servers. Although, to be fair, I've done a fair amount on Flatlands. I think Zendra's been the most active. I'd probably say I'd probably class myself as being second most active. I mean, Pat has built a castle, but I've done a fair amount of grindy stuff. Oh, hang on. Yeah, we're out of potions. There we go. Yeah, Pat has built a castle, so I mean, in terms of building, he's done more than me. Whoa! But I think just overall, I think I've done more in terms of grindy stuff and whatnot. So I have done a fair amount there, but it's just, consistently playing on it is difficult to motivate oneself. And I died on it. That's another reason why I haven't been on it much, is because I died on it and lost all my stuff. Although Zedger was kind enough to, as part of an episode, give me back basically everything I lost as part of a competition. So yeah, that's the state of SMPs. I mean, I might start playing on them in time, but if I don't, those are my reasons. I'll probably still be playing single player. And that's the thing. I heard Ethos say something along the lines of single player gets boring really, really quickly, which, not gonna lie, it did surprise me, although he then made the point that he's got an audience to kind of keep him motivated, which I get. But in terms of single player getting really, really boring, I generally find single player a lot more interesting than multiplayer. I don't know why. The reason I like it over multiplayer is primarily control. I've got control over everything basically. On multiplayer, yes, you've got the interaction of other people. Yes, you can do a lot of stuff on multiplayer that you can't do on single player, but I just like the added element of control you have on single player. It doesn't require an internet connection. You can play offline, which is basically the same point, but I guess my point is I tend to lag a lot on Cakecore SMPs, like whether it's Flatlands or Cakecore SMP, I tend to lag a lot for some reason. Lag a lot, reminds me of Mr. Lag a lot. But yeah, those are just some of the reasons I prefer single player. Plus I can do it at my own time, at my own pace. I'm a bit of an individual. I like single player games anyway. I remember when I was at back when I was at university, someone said to me, like someone I knew IRL from university said, "Oh yeah, I like the game, but there's no SMPs to play on." And I kind of get that, especially if you're an outgoing person. You want the interaction, but I'm certain I can't describe myself as that, so I certainly don't see single players being objectively boring. I just feel you've got to be a certain type of player. Although I can understand why it can be boring for some people, but as I said, that's up to the individual. Next episode we'll come back and we'll work on the gold farm a bit, or I'll just find some other grindy, boring thing to do. Boring, there's me saying boring when I've just bigged up single player. Let's put that there. I hear a ghast outside. Where is it? Nowhere in sight. So yeah, those are just some of my thoughts surrounding SMP and single player. I've been getting out a lot more. I haven't spent as much time on my PC of late, just in there was basically a point where I had a backlog to edit. I edited everything. A lot of that included like vlogs and stuff from America. It included stuff for Cakecore. Like there's a new Cakecore channel that's focused around marathon VODs. So like highlights of the marathon, or basically it's chopped up the 2019 and the 2020 marathons, and it's put it on YouTube. So I'll leave a link to that in the description if I remember. If I don't, well, just go search Cakecore marathon VODs. And I've been editing a lot of the footage for that. And I've been editing one or two other things for the actual Cakecore channel. And I basically got everything finished. I've been going out a lot more. Even though it's lockdown. Yeah, it's kind of funny. I've been going out more during lockdown than I did before lockdown. I think for the first like 3 weeks of lockdown, I stayed inside non-stop. Like I went out twice in 3 weeks, which really, really sucked. And it got to the point where I was like, I feel awful. I should at least just go out and have a walk. And I've been going out a lot more lately, although obviously I've obeyed social distancing. Obviously I haven't... Well, have I bent the rules? I guess a wee bit. Like, you're only supposed to go out for an hour of exercise, but sometimes I went out for, a wee bit over an hour. These days the law's... it's not even the law. I don't think it's enforced by law in Scotland. That's the thing. It's just guidelines. So in theory, if you break the law, you can't be prosecuted, but... people here are generally decent enough to realise it's a serious situation, and so we should probably just do what they say. That being said, when politicians go against it, that's when things get awkward. But I'm not gonna go into that. Anyway, the point is the rules and guidelines and regulations have changed, so you can now go out for a bit longer than an hour. In fact, I think you can go out for as long as you like, in theory. But that's the thing, they're quite ambiguous about lockdown now. Like in England, for example, I saw photos from the bank holiday Monday that there was beaches in England that were just full of people because, well, naturally it was a really, really warm day. People wanted to go out because they'd been stuck inside for a few months, and all of a sudden you see photos of like Bournemouth Beach packed with people, and you're just thinking, we're in a global pandemic here. What? But clearly it's because the government have been so ambiguous with what they've been saying. And when I say government, I mean the UK government. The UK government is the one that kind of makes guidelines and stuff for England. But then Scotland, England and Northern Ireland all have their own devolved governments that make decisions for Scotland, England and... Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland. Did I say Scotland, England and Northern Ireland? Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland have their own devolved governments. So that's why... that they make the decisions for those countries. England doesn't have its own devolved government, so in theory, in some ways it's not unfair, but you know what I mean. It seems almost as if England should have a devolved government focused primarily on England, but then there should be a UK government that makes only UK only decisions, if you know what I mean. Whereas the UK decisions are made by the same government that, governs England. It's really weird. Wow, welcome to the politics of the UK, which, let's be honest, isn't the easiest to comprehend at times, especially lately. But I mean, that's just me. I'm sure I'm not the only one that's a wee bit confused. Anyway, my previous point about lockdown and all that is I have been getting out a lot more, ironically during lockdown. But it's just one of these ones you just got to be careful and obviously sensible. So yeah, again, it's not something I like how I previously said I'm not going to talk about it in a future video. Well, here we are, we're talking about it because, I mean, what else do we have to talk about? 1.16, I could talk more about that, more about my thoughts on that. It seems like a very big update. People seem to be, commenting on how big the update is, how long it is taking them to get out, and it is a bit strange, especially because after 1.9 took about... 1.8 and 1.9 took a while to come out, although I think the reason 1.8 took a while to come out is because that was when Notch was he was busy selling Minecraft or something like that at that time. But 1.9 took years to come out. That's an exaggeration, it only took a year and 4 months, I think it was. 1.8 came out in October 2014, whereas 1.9 came out in February 2016, so that's like, yeah, about almost a year and a half. Anyway, 1.9 took a year and a half to come out, and after that they said they weren't going to take as long, and then the next like few updates took, not that long, and then they started going for longer updates again, although 1.15 was pretty quick. I thought they were maybe going to alternate between big updates and small updates, which they kind of have, I guess. 1.14 big update, 1.15 small, 1.16 big, but yeah, I don't know, it's taking them a while. I guess what I'm most excited for is, well, what am I? See, there's a lot in it. Obviously the nether's cool and all that, like the change in the nether is cool, but in some ways that you feel like that's overdue. Although you don't want to obviously be too critical, because I'm sure it's, running this game is not the easiest job in the world, given the fact it is a very, very popular game, very big game, very influential game. But you do wonder about how they go about prioritising updates and that. And they've obviously been having a lot more community feedback of late, in terms of, well, for example, there was the what's that flying mob that comes out at night if you don't sleep? The Phantom. The reason I remembered that is because I titled my Incidendo episode The Phantom Menace, because I was that stuck for episode titles. I was just like, yeah, whatever. Anyway, yeah, so the Phantoms, that was community feedback, that was a vote. So was the Nether, actually. I think people could vote on whether they wanted the Nether to be updated or the caves. So yeah, naturally the Nether is one of these big things that I'm looking forward to, but I think there's other things, but I just can't even mind what they are. There's a lot, that's what I'm saying, there's a lot, and it won't be until the update comes out that we'll be able to really appreciate it all. Definitely don't need any more of that than I've already got. Yeah, the thing is, when I was digging out the perimeter for the wither farm, I was basically, every single time I was taking blocks back, taking the netherrack back to smelt into nether bricks, but it got to a point where I just gave up, because as I said, it took far, far too long, and now I'm just going to give up and smelting netherrack at all, unless I get some super smelter setup sorted. I got a few ideas. I might try and custom make one, because they don't seem like the most difficult things to sort out, but at the same time there's just so many designs out there, but you still get some sort of satisfaction from building stuff, like building stuff yourself, although I don't do it that often. I feel like I should be doing it more. That's the thing, building as well, that's another reason I haven't been playing on SMPs as much, is in terms of building, I'm for whatever reason I'm enjoying building less and less, which is why I've not been doing it as much. I've been digging out stupid perimeters, and I'm building farms that I don't really need, so it's kind of weird, but I'm in a weird phase of playing the game at the moment. I still want to go and tame a bunch of horses in my world, and breed a really fast one, so that might be something we do in future. So yeah, that's enough boring you by collecting magma blocks for now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to collect another shulker box full, and part 2 of this episode will be 281. If I say 181, I mean 281. I anticipate next episode will be long as well. But hey, this episode has been going for a while, so it's, I guess, only natural that it should return with a flurry of episodes. So yeah, that's what we'll do. Anyway, thank you very much for checking it out. Look out for this. I don't have any RRs going up for the next week, so look out for this in a few days. I'll see you later.